Good morning, my children, and welcome to your English class, the class of the teacher Beto. Jacob, okay? Today, we're going to continue with the topic there is and there are. Now remember, there is and there are in Spanish means I, but there is a big difference between the two. There is, remember, for singular objects. That means only one. And there are means for plural. 2, 3, 4, or even 100 objects, okay? That's the big difference between the two. Now, do you remember that on previous classes we make exercise in which the teacher read the sentences and you illustrate what those sentences mean? Well, today we're going to continue with that same exercise. Once again, I am going to help you reading the sentences, and together we are going to see what do they mean so we can draw them here in these blank spaces. Now, once again, if you want to work along with the teacher, you have 5 seconds so you can grab your book and you can grab your pencil case, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. So, once you have your book, I'm going to tell you what's the page of today. The page of today appears right here. So, once again, we have 5 sentences. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And next to, we have to make the drawing. Now, the first sentence, my children, it says, there is a glass on the table. First of all, it says there is, which means the sentence is singular. There is a glass on the table. Now, if you remember correctly, the glass, it's an object that is made of plastic or crystal in which we pour some water or a liquid so we can drink it. In Spanish, we mean it is vaso. So, there is a glass. Remember, the glass is like a cylinder, okay? There is a glass on the table. So, this glass appears on, arriba, on the table, okay? And remember, the table looks like a rectangle. That's it. Now, if you want to put some liquid here, it could be orange juice, or it can be milk, or it can be soda, or it can be water. Let's continue with the number 2. The second sentence it says, there is a pan on the stove. Now, these two are new words for you, my children. Now, first of all, the word pan. Now, the word pan is not about Peter Pan. It's not about pan like the pan bimbo, because that is called bread. Now, here, the word pan is actually a word in English. The word pan means sartén, okay? And as you can see, in the pan is where we fry the eggs or where we can heat something that we can eat. Es donde frimos los huevos o donde calentamos algo para poderlo comer. So that is called a pan. Now the pan looks like a lollipop. It's a circle with a piece of iron so we can grab it with our hands, okay? Because without this piece of iron, we can burn our hands. So it's very important that if you use a pan, you grab it correctly, okay? Very good. Now, there is a pan on the stove. The second new word here is stove. Now, the stove is, in Spanish, means estufa. So, the pan is on the stove. Now, if you have seen a stove, you can see that there are a lot of heaters, calentadores, okay, in form of circles. So the pan is on the stove. Very good. Now let's continue with the number 3. The third sentence, it says, there are 3 eggs on on the table. I forgot to mention something very important about the second sentence. It says there is, which means singular objects. Continuing with the number 3, it says there are 3 eggs on the table. Now, first of all, if we pay attention, it says there are. That means plural. There are 3 eggs. Now remember, the eggs look like an oval. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 eggs on the table. Now these eggs, they are on. Okay, remember the prepositions of place. The eggs are on. Okay, very good. Then on number 4 it says there are 2 glasses on the table. Once again, we are using there are, which means plural. There are 2 glasses on the table. Unlike the first sentence, remember the glasses are in form of cylinders. There are 2 glasses, 1, 2, and these glasses are on the table. Okay? Very good. Now, once again, if you want to fill them with milk or with soda or with juice or with water, you can fill them si los quieren llenar. Now, number 5, it says there are some fruits next to the cup. Once again, there are, which means plural objects. Now, the word some, we already used it before. In Spanish means algunos, okay? Once again, they could be 3, 4. And for this exercise, for this sentence, we're going to draw 3 fruits, okay? Instead of some, which once again, pueden ser 4, 5, or 6, we're going to make only 3 drawings, 3 fruits. So, there are 3 fruits. We can draw, for example, an apple. Okay, there is an apple. A banana. Bananas are very delicious. Okay, and a pear. Very good. So, there are 3 fruits next to the cup. Now, if you remember the prepositions of place, next to means in Spanish al lado. Now, these fruits are next to a cup. Now, a cup, like the glass, it's an object that we use to drink a liquid. Okay? Very good. Once again, if you want to fill your cup with soda, or with milk, or with water, you can do it. Okay, very good. So today, before we finish, I am going to have a feedback because we saw 3 new words. Okay, voy a hacer un repaso porque vimos 3 palabras nuevas. The first one was pan. Once again, pan means in Spanish sartén. The second new word was stove. Now remember, the stove contains heaters, and it's basically where we put our pan so we can cook. Nuestra estufa es donde tenemos los calentadores y nos sirven para calentar nuestro sartén, para que podamos cocinar. And the final new word was some, which is a word that we previously saw, but once again, in Spanish means algunos, which are plural. For this, we are not specifying how many are they. No estamos especificando la cantidad, solamente estamos diciendo que son varios. Okay? So that's why I choose only 3 for the fruits. Very good. So, once we have finished with the drawings, if you want to paint them, you can paint them. There is no problem. The most important aspect here is that you draw correctly according to your sentences. So, that's it for today, my children. I hope that you have an excellent day. As always, don't forget that teacher Jacob loves you very much. Take care. Goodbye.